Friday night. You haven't had a drop to drink. The road is quiet, and you're making good time. Then, the red and blue lights flash in your rearview mirror. You pull over. You get your license and registration ready. It is an annoyance, certainly, but you know you haven't done anything illegal. The officer approaches the window, takes your documents, and asks a perfectly conversational question. Where are you headed tonight? Most people answer automatically. It sounds exactly like polite small talk. But an officer on duty is not making small talk. Every question they ask is designed to gather specific, checkable data points. You give a completely honest answer, assuming your innocence protects you. In reality, you are handing over the raw material they need to legally scrutinize your entire night. This interaction dictates the trajectory of the stop. The information shared here forms the foundation of a narrative that the officer will then begin testing for inconsistencies. Let's examine the first tactic, the direction trap. You tell the officer you are driving home. The officer immediately compares that statement to the direction your car was pointing and the home address on your license. Suppose you swung by a gas station on the way. On a police report, that is not written off as a quick stop for snacks. It is documented as travel inconsistent with observed travel, a recognized red flag for a DWI investigation. Looking at this map, a slight detour means your location does not perfectly align with a direct route home. Then comes the follow-up. The officer asks where you are coming from. By collecting your starting point and destination, they mentally bracket your entire route. If that bracketed route happens to pass near a busy strip of bars or a neighborhood associated with drug activity, those geographic facts become active evidence in the case against you. This leads to the timeline gap. You have no idea exactly when the officer first noticed your car or ran your license plate. Looking at this timeline, a destination that is only 5 minutes away creates a glaring problem if the officer ran your plate 25 minutes ago. There is now a 20-minute gap in your story. You might have been texting in a parking lot. To the officer, an unexplained gap in timeline is highly suspicious behavior. With these three tactics, the officer takes completely innocent facts, such as a simple detour, a normal travel route, or a brief delay, and builds a legally documented narrative of suspicion, all without any actual proof of a crime. While you process these geography and timeline questions, the officer is running a fourth tactic, the behavioral scan. They aren't just listening to what you say, they are watching exactly how you say it. You take a second to recall the name of the restaurant you just left. You glance away to think. You shift your weight against the seatbelt. These are standard human reactions to being questioned in the dark. But in a police log, they are formally classified as behavioral stress indicators. You paused because you're a person trying to give an accurate answer. But on paper, those shifting hands look identical to guilty deception. Every polite word, every honest geographic detail, and every natural physical movement is calculated to justify further investigation. Trying to talk your way out is a game designed for you to lose. You do have a defense, and it requires understanding your actual legal obligations. By law, you are only required to provide your driver's license, your vehicle registration, and proof of insurance. The Supreme Court settled this decades ago in Berkemer versus McCarty. The ruling affirmed your constitutional protections apply the moment you are pulled over. You retain the absolute right to remain silent, and crucially, exercising that right cannot legally be treated as the basis for criminal suspicion. Furthermore, in Rodriguez versus United States, the court ruled police are forbidden from prolonging a routine traffic stop to fish for evidence of other crimes. So when the officer asks where you are headed, here is the exact script you use. Officer, here's my license, registration, and insurance. I'm exercising my right to remain silent. Am I free to leave? This sequence is highly intentional. By starting with full physical compliance, handing over the required documents, you eliminate any claim that you are being uncooperative. Then, by explicitly asking, "Am I free to leave?" you put the clock back in the officer's hands. They must either find immediate legal grounds to arrest you, or they have to let you go. The next time those red and blue lights flash in your mirror, remember the rules of the encounter. Silence is your constitutional right and your most effective tool to keep a trap from closing.